Welcome to UCAN Plumbing. I'm Mark the Plumber, and today we're going to continue on with part 3 of troubleshooting your toilet, what I'm going to call the phantom flush. Now, it's not really a flushing of your toilet, but you hear your water valve kick on, and a lot of people consider that like the sounds of a toilet flushing. So it's not really a toilet flushing. Now, if your toilet really does flush all by itself, you probably do have a phantom. Do not call a plumber. Maybe call a young priest and an old priest, but do not call me. I don't want any part of that. This is where your water valve comes on because your water level is dropping inside. Now, there's only a couple of things that generally cause that to happen. And if you don't have any water on the floor around your toilet, then you know almost for sure that it's one of these two things that is not working properly. So that being said, it's a lot easier if we just jump in and take a look inside the toilet bowl, and I can point out what I'm talking about. There we go. I'm just going to shut the water off of this toilet while I'm showing you what I'm talking about. It's got these white gaskets. Sometimes they build up a little bit of crud underneath them over time. Very easy. You just go online and you find whichever your model of your toilet, which can often be found inside the bowl. That will give you a model number. You look that up, and a lot of the time you can find exactly what your model was and the gaskets that you need. I mean, this one has a double gasket. There's the old-fashioned kind of single rubber gasket. There's other brands that have a canister. They all sell, you can buy the entire part. Like for here, you could buy everything that you see down here. But I do not recommend that. I recommend save yourself a ton of money. You can buy the gaskets for less than $10. Way better off to do that. Same with all the other brands. You can buy a new flapper for the normal type of flapper. I'll show pictures of them. I can even put links in the description for each one of those ones for replacements. Okay, this is a Kohler canister flush toilet. You can see the red gasket at the bottom. That's what you should be able to just get away with replacing. Easy to order, easy to replace. I have a video on it I will link in the description. And I'll also put a link to the Amazon store item. This is your regular single flapper toilet. All you have to replace is a blue part at the bottom. Sometimes they're red, but that's your run-of-the-mill sort of general basic toilet flapper. This is the American Standard 2-button flush system with this big canister. Basically, if it's leaking and having any issues, you have to replace this entire unit, usually somewhere around $100. At that point, you may want to think about just replacing the toilet. Okay, there we go. We got her filled back up. Now, the second problem, and the one that hopefully is the problem because it generally doesn't mean that you have to replace anything, is right here. You'll see the water level is just a... Let me see if I can get a decent angle here to show you the water level. Your water level on your fill valve, your overflow valve here, the water level on your overflow valve sits maybe a 1/4 inch below the overfill. So what happens over time sometimes, this is your screw that adjusts your float for how much water you let in. And sometimes these things over time have a tendency to move somehow. I'm not sure. It's just the way plastics work with the hot and cold process that they go through. I don't know, somebody like Mark Rober would be able to describe this way better than I can. But that being said, sometimes these move, and then you'll notice that your water is right up to the top and spilling in. So every so often the water will drain down a bit. This thing will notice your float will say, oh, we're low. It'll turn the water on. It'll fill back up again. You'll hear that come on. Now this is nice and easy because then you just have to adjust this screw, whatever direction needs to be adjusted to get it back down. I have some other videos that I will link to this one. If you do happen to have the rare problem where this just keeps kind of allowing water out and you can adjust it, that means this valve is broken. Easy enough to replace, very inexpensive, under $20 you're replacing this valve. And I recommend you do it yourself. Do not spend a couple $100s to get somebody to come to your house to do something that with your trip to the lumber yard or ordering on an Amazon, you could do for like $25. Please do not, and maybe a half hour if you're really taking your time. But I will link those other videos to here. Hopefully this has helped. So there you have it. That's how you diagnose a phantom flushing toilet. It's nothing to be worried about. It's another, like so many things with plumbing, it's a super, super, super easy fix. Anybody can do it, and I recommend that you do it. There's no point spending all that money on somebody to come to your house that you can do super easily yourself. I definitely recommend you do it yourself. Very easy. I'll leave a link in the description for a bunch of different toilet configurations for different flaps. I'll leave a link for the flush valve. I'll also leave a link for the video on how to replace all that kind of stuff. Make sure you like and subscribe. And once again, thank you very much for watching UChem Plumbing. We'll see you on the next video. Bye now.